Well, as if by absolute magic, my driver has just landed right next to the 250 sign of this par 5. Can't believe the ball just landed like that. Guys, welcome down to the channel. Today we're talking fairway woods. Question number 1, do you go for this? 250 yards out, have you got enough club in your bag to hit this green? Comment below. Is this something you'd be like, I'm going for it, I'm gonna go for it? This could be eagle time. Also, if it is out of range, are you still going to use as much club as you possibly can? You're still going to use a 3-wood or a hybrid to obviously try and advance it as far up this fairway as you can, because today's video is all about how to hit the fairway woods. All right, this green's quite well protected, so going for the green is definitely risk reward. Now, again, this is only talking from a personal perspective, but I don't mind bunker shots. I actually quite like greenside bunkers. I feel sometimes feel a bit more comfortable playing a bunker shot than I do a chip shot. So it's kind of, the bunkers are not something that would put the fear into me. If it's the same for you, if you like your bunker shots or you're not too worried about them, then why not be aggressive? Go for that 3-wood shot. If you end up in one of the bunkers, you're still comfortable enough in your own game to get the ball up and down. Now this is 250 to the middle of the green. It might be 230 or so to get towards the front edge of the green. And if that's in range of the 3-wood, are you still going to use it? Because it can be a massive asset to your game. Just having the confidence to hit this ball off the ground with the 3-wood, get as much distance as possible and make that third shot easier, potentially making birdie, but also I think just securing par. So it definitely depends on what level of golf you're at, because I actually find that more higher handicap golfers use this club all the time. So much more comfortable to use it because they're using it so much more often. But today's video, we're going to be talking about how to do it. Okay, so one of the first things I do is I get my ball position right, because normally when I've got the ball teed up with the 3-wood, I have it slightly further forward in my stance, maybe not quite as far forward as the driver, but a little bit kind of further forward and kind of just forward of center. Now when I've got the 3-wood out and I'm going to be hitting this for my second shot, I want to make sure the ball position is not quite as far forward. With this type of strike, there is an element of kind of, we still want to hit down on the golf ball, but we don't want to be hitting down too steep like we would do maybe like a 7 or a 6 iron. So I'm actually going to give you some numbers to put into perspective. So when we hit a 7 iron, the angle of attack, so that's the vertical angle down from the club to the ball, is around about 7 degrees down onto the shot, okay? Approximate. Everyone's a little bit different. When you come towards your hybrids, you're going to be hitting down on the ball, maybe 3 or 4 degrees. But then when you come to the fairway wood, we still want to hit down on the ball. But it might be a little bit more kind of 1 to 2 degrees where we've hit down, but there's not much of there's no divot really. There's a kind of, you're kind of picking up a few blades of grass on the way through, but it's nothing too steep. So the club kind of comes down, as the club's working on its downward arc towards the ball, it kind of meets the ball as it's about to hit the bottom of its arc. So the angle itself is not too steep. Now in terms of the actual swing, I think it's massively important on this shot in particular to make you do commit to the shot. You've got to make sure that your lower body, your upper body, your forearms and the club face is rotating through impact with speed to make sure this club face stays straight. Again, when we get into a situation where if we're a little bit worried and a bit kind of, if we try and steer the ball down towards the target line, then we often kind of rotate through and leave the club face open and don't really finish. A lot of golfers I see do finish in this sort of position here where it's not really you've not really gone for it. You've got the 3-wood out for your second shot to hit this ball as far as you possibly can. Now, when I'm taking my swing, I've got to make sure I match up. So I might have a nice aggressive backswing here, but on the downswing, I've got to really make sure that I turn out of the shot. I'm rotating the shoulders and the chest, and the club face is rotating through the natural rotation of my arms and my hands to get it back to square. So I want to always make sure I'm finishing all the target, because that means I've put a bit of power into it, but it also means I've matched up. You'll hear this a lot from me in particular, where swing back, match it on the way through. We have to match on the way through, and this is key. And also the understanding of what type of strike we want to try and get. We're just brushing the grass. You see the blades of grass coming as I strike that. So the angle down, it's not too steep, but obviously I'm not hitting it on the up like I would do if it was for tee. So 3 wood, 250 yards. Let's see what we can do. Oh my God. Little fade, go on, go on, go on. Ooh. Not bad, not bad, just towards the front edge of the green. So I'm happy with that. I go up there and I try and take my chip and try and get up and down for par. In terms of the actual strike, as we started to turn through, kept the head kind of behind the ball and really let the lower body and the shoulders kind of pull the hands and the club through impact here. One of the things I see a little bit too much of is golfers, as they get to the top, they start to do this because they're thinking long club, I've got to start to hit, I've got to still hit down on the golf ball. And you do, but you've got to let the natural arc of your golf swing try and do that for you. One of the things you've got to try and make sure is that the lower body turns, and we're just doing that, we're just brushing into the grass. And that's a little drill that you can try and do, because it does take a lot of coordination with your hands as well to kind of make sure that the club face, as you start to work down, is also brushing the ground. Okay, so the lower body's working, lower body's turning, head staying in the central position relative to your feet, and everything, shoulders and hips are rotating through the shot. That's going to be so important for the outcome and the quality of this ball strike. Right, second time round, let's see if we can get a better strike. Isn't to wind, so it's going to just taking it out of play a little bit more again. But again, I'm going to make sure I brush into the grass, lower body's going to rotate, I'm going to match up my through swing. Tight bit, so I'm going to miss in the green left, but it was a good strike. Pulled it about 50 yards left actually. So yeah, pulled it about 50 yards left, but the strike was amazing, if I'm being perfectly honest. The strike was perfect. So I want to make sure now that I get a bit better accuracy. Well, there's nothing else I'm consistent. I maybe missed that one 30 yards left. However, on a massive par 5, I've chewed up this hole in 2 shots. Now it's up to my short game. The 3 was done what it can do. It's given me a great strike, and that's exactly why I've used it. I'm up probably close to pin high. It's all in the short game. So guys, go and give this a try. Go and try and brush the grass. Get used to the lower body turning through impact and the club itself just kind of brushing into the grass, getting used to that angle of attack change, making sure we're not turning it into a 7-iron, but we're not trying to hit up on it like we would try and do with a driver. Also, massive one I keep coming back to, matching up. Make sure the lower body and the upper body work through the ball to match up what happened in the backswing. Otherwise, you'll start steering it and the club face will probably remain open. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. Massive thank you to Al Zora Golf Club as well, here just outside of Dubai. Fantastic location, fantastic golf course, always in absolutely pure condition. So thank you very much for checking me out. If you're new to the channel, please do hit that subscribe button, comment below, and we'll see you again next time around.